are happy to be here tonight. We are happy to be here tonight celebrating the life and work of Johnny Abush, and we are pleased that our collection could be used to make this project a reality. The archives collects the stories and history of LGBTQ2+ communities in Canada in any medium. We endeavor to make the collections accessible to the public by welcoming the researchers into our reading room, partnering with different organizations, and by creating exhibits online and throughout Ontario. So thank you to the JCC, notably Liv Mendelson and Deanna DeLello, and to the rest of the team that supported the project. And finally, to our volunteer, Lo, who took on this project a few months ago and has helped to make it a reality by scouring the collection and working with the team. So congratulations, and we hope you all enjoy the exhibit.
Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Howard Levine. Howard is a one-time head of Chutzpah, the organization that's discussed here, and also a long-time Toronto City Councillor. And Howard has frequented the JCC as well, so we consider him one of ours. And Howard is going to make some remarks, but he's also said he is also open to answering questions. So we're very privileged to have him with us. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you very much, Olivia. Okay, I'm going to read, because I have lots of stuff to say. So 24 pages. So first, allow me to convey regrets from Judge Harvey Brownstone from St. Catharines, who is unable to attend this evening. For me, it is a great pleasure and an honor to be asked to speak. But we are here to recognize and to celebrate the important work and remarkable accomplishments of Johnny Abush. Johnny was indeed an amateur archivist, but he was passionate and almost obsessive in his efforts to document the struggles of us who are twice blessed, as he called it, lesbians and gays and Jewish. Struggles for recognition and respect, because that's what it was all about. Because of long-term and increasingly debilitating health issues, Johnny was unable to physically participate in a lot of the Jewish gay rights activities that were underway. But he completely appreciated the critical importance of preserving a physical record of that movement. And I want to talk about revisionism, something that I really despise. Revisionism is the deliberate distorting of historical facts in order to present a politically correct version of what actually transpired. Governments, institutions, religious bodies, and all kinds of organizations are ever more prone to engage in revisionism. For example, as a member of the board of Chutzpah, Toronto's gay and lesbian Jewish organization that began in the 1980s, I can attest to our necessity to threaten action through the Ontario Human Rights Commission, and actually legal action too, we thought about. And why? To rent a meeting room in this very building. So keep that in mind. It wasn't all sweetness and light with the JCC and the other organizations that are listed on some of the panels. There were too many incidents when components of the Jewish community in this city refused to even acknowledge our existence. The wonderful fact that we are all here celebrating how far we have journeyed to this point is truly remarkable. Johnny would be thrilled, and absolutely thrilled, to have his efforts acknowledged and on display in the Jewish Community Center at Bloor and Spadina in his hometown. It's really quite remarkable. I keep saying remarkable, but it really is remarkable. Johnny instinctively knew that preserving a record of history facilitates an understanding of where we have come from, but it also illuminates where we are now, and most importantly, points to where we must proceed. Johnny's stalwart efforts and phenomenal accomplishments in documenting our journey deserve to be praised. So I want to thank you, Johnny, personally and from everyone that was involved with the various organizations that he was involved with. So thank you very much, and I can hopefully respond to some questions. Any questions? A little bit of show and tell. One actually shows Johnny made these by hand. These were rainbow keyboards. He made hundreds of them, and they were a prime fundraiser for the organization. At the early Pride events, we sold hundreds of these, and he made them all by hand. So I don't know if the archives, I don't know if they have to, you might not have it.
No, we'd love to add that to our.
I don't know if I want to give it away though.
we could borrow it.
Can borrow it, but this is quite a statement. I mean, when we wore these in the parade and everything else. Yes.
Many of John's records that he collected ended up in the United States, and I was wondering if you knew a little bit about how that came to be, or what his thought process was.
Johnny, when he was very sick, he wanted, because he had acquired so much material, it was phenomenal. He had a 2-bedroom apartment, and 1 bedroom was like his library, and then it was in the hallway, the kitchen, was everywhere. He lived on Alexandria Street. And he went all over the place. He contacted universities across Canada and various agencies. And the problem was he wanted to give his entire collection intact. He wanted to give it away intact. He didn't want to break it up because it had all been organized in his own unique way. So the only place that would accept it 100% intact was actually the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, right downtown Los Angeles. And he told me when they responded positively, and I was a bit discouraging because it really should stay in Canada because it's a Canadian archive, it's not American. But nevertheless, it was shipped down there, and then there's a little bit of, there's going to be a little bit corrected on one of the panels. As far as I know, that was the first major gay archives that institution acquired. And it set the stage for when One Institute, which is the very pioneering organization for gay and lesbian rights in the US, when they decided to give their collection away, USC said, well, we have a big collection already. So, and one was headquartered in Los Angeles to begin with. But a lot of the duplicates of Johnny's, not all, but there was quite a bit of stuff that I had. I think 12 or 13 filing boxes of stuff that I contributed to the archives here in Toronto. And so, because I keep stressing that archives are critically important. We've got to protect the stuff. You can't let it go away. And we're here tonight because Johnny had the foresight to document everything. So that's a little bit of story about it. Yes.
I remember I was working as a freelance reporter for Action. I remember interviewing him about a dating site, Nuyenta.
Yes.
Do you remember if he started that? I can't
He
remember
did.
right now.
He did start that. Early days of computer technology, and it was a bit of a nightmare, to say the least. He did get some pushback from some of the major Jewish organizations, especially in the United States, from what I can recall. And
Did he sell it?
I don't know if he sold it or not, but it just faded away largely because it was.
But I think it's still up.
Someone else had taken it over. Some other organization, or I think he sold it off. Some of the name, the rights. I can't remember all the details. But yes, he was into computers very early. Like in the 80s. He had a tiny little Commodore, I think he had, one of his Commodore machines.
So he was probably one of the first to start a Jewish dating site.
Yes, he was. I think he was probably one of the first in North America. Yes, definitely. But
Jewish dating service.
Jewish dating service. But again, I think one of the issues that it was when he wanted to allow for gay and lesbian Jewish dating, he got some pushback from some of the organizations. You know, it's a shanda. If anyone knows what Yiddish is, it's a shame. You can't do that. So he got some pushback from that. I'm not calling out some of the issues. But it was, yes, he was a pioneer. Yes.
So you talk about pushback from within
Yes.
our community.
Yes.
But what was the kind of, let's call it pushback from non-Jewish organizations?
You know, there really wasn't much pushback. In fact, we got along very well with the Kutzler group. We had a lot of support from the other religiously oriented gay and lesbian groups, the Anglican group, the Metropolitan Community Church, who was very supportive. We had very good, we never had a problem with the other organizations, to tell you the truth. We did have problems, and there's a panel there that talks about the Holy Blossom. They finally did come through eventually, because to be honest, we more or less threatened them with eventual legal action. And I don't want to name individuals particularly, because I don't think it's appropriate, but there were certain, when I refer to revisionism, there were certain retired individuals from the Holy Blossom, are now retired, who take great, they proclaim that they opened their doors and it was wonderful. Well, that's not entirely true. In fact, some of those people were very, very negative, and they were actually quite mean at times. Some of the things they said, some of the things they did. So it wasn't all sweetness and light.
No, I know that there were some men that I knew at the time, Jewish men who actually ended up being buried through Rosario Morrison, I think it was. Rosario Morrison. It was a Christian funeral service. Because
many years ago, there was an immigrant, a gay Jewish immigrant from, I can't remember where he was from. He was somewhere from Europe, I think, or maybe Argentina, I can't remember. Anyway, he died from AIDS early on, and we had to scour around to get a rabbi to do a funeral, and we did it, and finally. But it was it sort of set the whole thing in motion, and some of my friends would say, why do we have to do this? It isn't right. But the other side of the coin is that the Jewish gay or Jewish gay and lesbian organization in Toronto, various groups, disbanded in the early 2000s because there wasn't a need for it anymore. So we were a member of the World Congress of Gay and Lesbian Jewish Organizations based in New York. And we were the first organization to disband and leave, because we said there's no need for it, because miraculously the existing organizations, the establishment, large number of the establishment Jewish synagogues and agencies did change their tune, and you know, some of the large synagogues now offer gay and lesbian weddings. I mean, it's quite amazing what's happening in a fairly short period of time. So we were the first to disband because there wasn't any need for the organization anymore. Another group did follow, more or less a social thing, but it too has now has disbanded. So there is no distinctive Jewish gay and lesbian organization anymore in Toronto because there really isn't any need for it. And I think that is a wonderful thing to say.
astonishing.
Yes.
What kinds of things does the synagogues not let you do?
Well, they didn't want us to be there, for one thing. They did, like, we wanted a meeting space, and we got the runaround, and we did finally wind up at the JCC, this building before it was refurbished. That was quite a few years ago now, 20 years ago we refurbished it. But we did have a meeting space there. And over the years they became, well, the management changed a bit at JCC. It became much more open-minded. And originally we were paying a modest fee to rent, but after a while they said, no, you don't have to pay anymore. So the attitude had changed remarkably.
And in the synagogues, would they refuse, I can see where they refuse weddings, funerals?
Oh yeah, that was unheard of.
That was the main thing that they refused to do, was the weddings, the funerals.
The funerals were the first thing. That was very early on, but of course we didn't have gay marriage until 2000 and whatever it was, 2008. I can't remember. So that wasn't really an issue at the time.
More funerals.
Funerals, things changed remarkably, and things became much more. They were much more amenable to organizations with various various synagogues, really right across the whole spectrum, really, from conservative, reform, reconstructionist. Orthodox, we still had some problems, but that's still the case today. But the others were very, they really changed their tune. So Johnny would be very pleased, believe me. He was quite pessimistic at times about how things were not proceeding very well. But things accelerated. I guess shortly after he died, things changed remarkably. I guess in the first decade of the century, things really became. Doors started to open very wide, and attitudes changed, and he would have been very happy to see that evolution.
What did Johnny do? What did Johnny do for a living?
Piece of
And
that.
she was here at that right time because she did marvelous things here. She's
Yeah.
a terrific lady.
Yeah.
She just retired not too long ago.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
Great. Well, I hope Howard will stick around and answer
yes, I'll
questions
be here.
individually, but please let's thank him so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very much.
Well, that concludes our formal portion, but